Salutations everyone, this is Razor13 here giving you some gameplay on good old regular kill confirmed here on the map Outpost using the golden Colt Modular 901, better known as the CM901, which is a pretty nice looking gun in gold, and it has the nice little Colt insignia on the butt of the gun if you can see that, which I think is pretty cool. Kind of like, you know, the Remington insignia that's on all the Remington weapons in the game. But I'm gonna go ahead and wait for this guy to reveal himself. Thank you, buddy. Have a nice bullet to nut, and thanks for the UAV. The CM901 is definitely one of the worst assault rifles in the game, so do not let this gameplay fool you. I do go pretty ham, and I do a very good score, but this gun is not that good. Many people say the M16 or the AK-47 are the worst assault rifle in the game. Those are definitely some of the worst assault rifles out there. But the CM901 is the worst assault rifle in the game. And if you disagree, you are wrong, sir. You are wrong. I'm sorry to tell you this, but you are incorrect. If you do not believe me, go ahead and put this gun on and give it a try. As you obviously can tell, this gun is gold, so I've used it quite extensively. And I know the ins and outs of every assault rifle that I have used in this game. And you know I already have the M16 and AK-47 gold, so I've used the CM901 at least as often as them. And here I am just going ham in their spawn. And there are two pieces of advice that I can give you while using this weapon to make it a little better. The number one tip I can give you, and I cannot stress this one enough: play terrible players, because this gun is not going to do you any favors. You are going to have to go out and get every kill yourself. This gun is not going to give you any kills. This is not the ACR or the Type 95. Hell, this is not an M4 or fill in the blank gun. This gun is terrible. The number two tip I can give you: just get fucking lucky. You have to get lucky with your connection. You have to get lucky with the players that you're playing, with the map you're playing, with everything. Everything just kind of has to fall into place. And luckily that did happen for me in this game. Just completely making people look like fools, because the Enfield in Black Ops is really the only thing I can compare this gun to. Back in Black Ops, the Enfield had a kind of high fire and low damage. Now, when it comes to weapon balancing, there are many things to account for. You got recoil, fire rate, and damage. With something like the AK-47, it's going to have a lower fire rate, high damage, and high recoil. For a gun like the FAMAS in Black Ops, it would have low recoil, high fire rates, low damage. For the Enfield, it had medium recoil, low fire rate, and low damage. It was kind of in between the AK and the FAMAS, but it had the best of none of their worlds. It had a fire rate between the FAMAS and the AK, and a damage lower than the FAMAS, which was really weird. Well, okay, it was about this. The fire damage was about the same as the FAMAS, but it had a lower fire rate. So that gun was outclassed by every other assault rifle because it had nothing positive going for it. It had no advantage. Because, you know, with the lower fire rate weapons, it had higher damage. For the lower damage, it had higher fire rate. Enfield didn't have either of those. And the CM901 is in the same boat. It has an incredibly low fire rate and an incredibly low damage. So when you get killed by this weapon, you were outplayed, because the guy who was using it, and unless he was, you know, hiding in the corner, you know, with Blind Eye Assassin, then you got outplayed, because this gun, like I said, it's not going to do you any favors. You're going to have to go out and get every kill yourself. This gun is not going to help you get kills. You're just going to have to outsmart everyone, shoot them from behind, flank them, You're not going to get very many double sprays with this weapon because someone's on the other team is going to turn around and one burst you with their Type 95. The fire rate is not going to be very conducive to taking out multiple enemies. The magazine size is not very great. I am using extended mags, which I definitely recommend because none of the other attachments are going to help you. There was a glitch with this gun way back in the beginning of Modern Warfare 3, where if you put an underbarrel attachment, either the noob tube or the Master Key shotgun, it increased the fire rate of this weapon for whatever reason. There was just a little glitch in the game, and that has since been patched for a long time. And I remember checking it out. I was like, oh yeah, it does increase the fire rate. Now let me go back to an assault rifle I actually want to use. And I'm kind of glad that I never got spoiled by having a CM901 of higher fire rate. I don't know why they patched it, obviously because it wasn't intended for that to, actually happen, for the fire rate to be altered in any way by an attachment. But it made that gun usable. And for those of you that used this gun when that glitch was in effect and you used an underbarrel attachment, hopefully the Master Key, hopefully my subs weren't tubing like a bunch of noobs. But it made the gun usable because, even with that high fire rate, it was still not one of the better assault rifles. That little glitch just kind of made it usable. And that's kind of a shame that they patched, but I completely understand why they patched it. But this gun, it has no redeeming qualities to it whatsoever. I mean, it has one of the faster reload speeds. That might be it, because it is tied with the AK-47 for the highest recoil. It has a moderate kick, which makes it seem like it has less recoil, so that is definitely more manageable. But you won't be able to get any long shots off this weapon, especially since it has very low fire rate and low damage. Combine that with a high recoil, this gun is not going to be your friend at long range. And so if you're in all your battles, you're going to want to keep mid to close range, and you're going to have to outsmart your opponents by, maintaining the high ground, flanking them, shooting behind them as much as possible. As you can see in this game, especially on kill confirmed, I'm going to be constantly on the move because those dog tags are going to pop up on their minimap. They're going to know where their teammates got killed instantaneously, and they're going to be turning around and shooting me in the back through windows with their scars and their ACRs and their PP90s, because that's just what happens in this game. So you're going to want to use your brain to full effect. It's not like the ACR where you can just turn your brain off and let the gun play the game for you. This is definitely a thinker's weapon, because that's the only way you're going to be able to get your kills, is if you outthink your opponent. And like the Enfield, if you get a kill with this weapon, it's because you outplayed your opponent. So if you want to challenge, or if you want to prove yourself, go ahead and slap on the CM901 and see how good of a player you are with this weapon. It is definitely not one of my favorite guns, and I never recommend using this gun whatsoever, unless you just want to show off, like, hey, look what I can do with this terrible gun. But that's not even something I can do very often. I did have some luck in this game. Get the final confirmation for the much-needed victory. Go ahead and get this double kill with my Predator missile. And this map is terrible for air support because you're at such a high altitude when you fire, and there's a mountain in your way half the time. But my final score here on Outpost Kill Confirmed is 43, 1, and 4 with the gold CM901. So this is Racer13 signing off, reminding you to always keep your guns gold and to never use the Colt Modular 901. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.